Hi, everyone. 11 a.m. EST, time for Mike and me. Mike, the market's lower. A lot of things are lower. The
Mhm.
culprit's higher yields. It really came out of nowhere yesterday when I was doing the broadcast. We were up a little bit, and that was before the ISM. And this would be considered a breakout if we close over 434, which could take yields to 465. So that could pressure a lot of things. TLT, the 90 level is back on the
Wow.
table.
hmm
So it's really been about yields that have pressured the market, supported the dollar. Dollar's pulling back a little. I just think it's just a dead cat bounce. I'm still looking for Dixie to trade over 106 before it's over. We could pull back, 104.50 or so. And I may have been a day early, but I stuck with it. I'm looking for a reaction in the gold market. Um, we have the makings of a reversal day. We did not confirm here. So I think there's 81% bulls in the gold. And I kind of talked about it being a hedge for the miners that you want to hold long term. And they're starting to reverse a little bit too. Here's Newmont. Here's GDX, which is
GDX had the most
reversing.
amount of protection yesterday, if I can interrupt. That's all I'm
Okay.
saying.
They had a lot of put buying
Yeah.
or call selling.
No, buying puts.
Okay. How far out?
Uh, uh, April 18th,
Okay. So they're
short
looking
term.
for a couple week pullback.
Could be a hedge.
Um, yeah. So, you know, it's all about yields. That's what's happening right now. S&Ps, well, they don't look great, but they could always turn it. Friday's going to be a big number, the employment number.
Well, today they turned because of the JOLTS number, which 11 with 10 o'clock
Uh,
a.m., which was big. That's a little bit of fuel to the fire. So sellers sold a little bit lower.
yeah. So I'm not sure if we're going to run into rally into the eclipse or just continue to fall into it next week. But I am looking for inflection points next week, but I can't predict the direction of where things are going to go. I still think the dollar heads up. If it heads up into next week and we're already over 106, which, anything could happen, especially if we had a strong jobs report, we could peak. I actually was um, taking a summer in Carlsbad, California, one year, and I was trading, and on the solar eclipse, I saw a dollar peak to the day. And if you watched our interview last week with Chris Carolyn, he didn't know which way we were going to go into it, but looking for an inflection point. So that's basically all I have. The only new thing I did this week was, taking a shot at top picking the gold, thinking that there's a chance for it to maybe even pull back to the breakout. It definitely exceeded my expectations, and so did the miners exceed my expectations. But you look at GDX, low was about 25 and a half, highs 32 and a half. That's 7 points. So,
But
um,
silver's breaking out now, Coach. They just went to silver today.
okay, well, I'm talking about GDX right now. I'll
Oh,
talk about SILJ. Um, anyway, if we're peaking here, it's reasonable to expect a 61.8 pullback. So after 7, you subtract 4 from 32 and a half, and it gives you, look at this, right near the moving average, 28.50. And silver has begun to outperform, but I still think that here's SILJ diverging. The little ones had a great run, Endeavor, from 140 to 260, so
amazing.
120, maybe halfway back, it pulls back to $2. And Fortuna also was a pretty good performer from 264 to 390.
Trivia,
Okay.
Coach.
Yeah. So, maybe we pull back to 320. if I get that break in gold. And I'm thinking what would be the catalyst, and I guess the catalyst would be higher rates continue, and everything, just like everything went up together, maybe everything's going to go down together. So what sectors are feeling the heat the most from higher yields? I'm going to give you
Feeling
the charts.
naturally technology would feel it, but let's see a look at the share screen here. Excuse me a second. Let me go to my screen because I don't really try to look at quotes. I try to be present. Okay, share screen. Here we go. Okay. What's wrong with CGC? Doesn't matter what rates are doing. CGC is up $1.30, 16 million shares traded, continuing momentum. That's all. It's always a bull market somewhere. Now
Wasn't
today,
there a ruling in cannabis yesterday,
there was
or
a
they're
ruling in
expecting one?
Florida. I think Florida, it's legal.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
they're going to vote on it in November.
okay.
I think that's what it was.
You know what? I like it even more because it's speculation. The vote's not even out. If the vote was
Right.
out, then the news, it would be kind of be seldom news after this type of run. ACB is the one they're taking up today with more volume. It's got the run in it. There you go. So Coach Dale asked what's the week today. All right. So NVIDIA, there we go. AMD, which was finally broke. This AMD, flip it over. What would you do with AMD here? AMD had its chance yesterday to hold this flag and to hold this breakout, if you will, with a little bit of volume. It didn't. Now AMD went the other way.
My ideal scenario is if the market rallies into next week.
Okay.
That's what I'd like to see.
PVH, a retailer, one day, stare up, elevator down, 140, you turn around, it's 105. Basically gave back what, 25%. A&F,
In
I
a
had it
day.
short. I actually covered some of it this morning. Decent cover. What's moving? CVS got hurt today with they had news on health plan issues taking down the rest of the sector. I know it's not a barn burner, but it is macro related. So you know what? As maybe UNH sells off, and the rest of them, like a THC, actually not a THC. Let's go to the other ones. What else? Sigma got to be getting. Actually, Sigma's not even getting
So
it.
the financials are holding up pretty good with higher yields.
They are holding up good, just like gold is. Here's DJP, Donald Trump's situation. Trade it all you want. It's up $2 today. Yesterday, the low was 45. Today was 53. $8 move on tremendous volume was Donald Trump. Donald Trump traded 5 million shares so
Would
far.
you hold a position there, or would
No,
you just trade it?
no, that's a position I don't. No, I wouldn't hold it. I just traded it. Reddit, another stock that I wouldn't take positions of this morning. Buying a ton of Reddit, 44, selling it at 48. I mean, good money in Reddit today. Intel. By the way, I want to make a couple moves. It looks like, as these semis come in, I think any semi that's not leveraged to AI is very, very vulnerable. CELH, everybody wanted to short it up here, short it on the way down. And they went for all of a sudden, CLH, the big winner. 99, you turn around, it's 80. All right, this 20% lower without even knowing it. You got to short them on the way down, these breaks. Bitcoin. I had Mara short this morning. I'm not going to lie. This was a nice short. I made a lot of money in Mara. Covering it down here near the low. Mara. Covering it at 1983. Might be the low. 1950. It bounced to 2032. So I saved myself $1 on the cover. I also had lift short. A lot of lift short. Why did I have lift short? I liked the way it closed. It was curling below the moving averages. Also, Uber broke as of yesterday, but I bought lift short. So what am I in now? Baidu, I held. Baidu is taking a tremendous amount of calls. China stock still looks very, very good. Baidu. That's a stock that can keep going up as maybe the market pulls back or corrects, or whatever you want to call it, the proper rotation. I know it's redundant. I'll come up with a new term. Bottom line is Baidu, it's acting very well. I am in Baidu. By the way, it's a strong stock. It's easy to pick out a strong stock in a weak sector. So, let's see what happens there. Schlumberger, does one day down make a reversal? Not really sure. That went below the 200-day. So let's keep your eye on Microsoft. Did it give it all up yet? No. It's still healthy. Okay. Google was breaking out to new highs yesterday. All right.
Yeah.
It's still having an inside day. Still inside a previous high. Maybe it's one day away from breaking out a new high. Maybe it's one day away from taking out the gap here. That's what type of market we're in. The VIX is actually somewhat elevated, if you will. I'm sure maybe you have something to say about that, Coach. But the CGC, Disney, after the run up. All right, this is healthy, a healthy wash. Disney pulling back from 123 to 120. But that helps sentiment go out the other way. Instead of going all extreme greed, where everybody in the pool, stocks like Disney and the other stocks resting give you maybe a tradable, buyable dip. As, by the way, they are buying dips so far until chosen otherwise. Oh, God, I'm out of breath. ON Semiconductor. These are the semiconductors that don't have artificial intelligence in them. ON Semiconductor, obviously, although Western Digital does have AI in it. So you know what? Like we've been saying the whole time, this has been a bifurcated sector in even strong areas. So just I'm trading tactically, Coach. FCX still going. You know what I mean? Is it buying on a pullback? Look at CCJ, the big animal yesterday. What are you going to do here? I mean, it might pull back 50 cents, and then you buy it, and then you're like, I need the market to go up because I'm down 50 cents or whatever in CCJ. But the same thing happened when you might have paid up for it, as it broke high through that day, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, look what happened. I took Goldman at 413, and you turned around, you're down $8 in it. But you know what? Maybe it rests a little bit and it goes back to a new high. And that's what a lot of these stocks look like they could be doing at this moment. Meta, same thing.
I hope they do.
Shopify, they're Nvidia. And I'm glad MCI is down like this. I hope it goes to 800. You know what may look like it? AMD, another one. So is AMD weak? Does that mean the rest of the market has to go down? No. The market's a little bit more right.
AMD could have a bear market rally, I was saying yesterday, maybe back to 220. I don't think it'll make new highs. I was figuring Nvidia new high and a failing rally in AMD.
Well, you have to be thinking, and that's fair, Coach. You have to be thinking. AMD has, obviously is in the AI situation, also makes GPUs with Bitcoin. So, as, stocks like Nvidia hang in a lot better. SMCI arguably hangs in a lot better than AMD. You gotta have to ask, what's a catalyst that would keep AMD going up when all these other stocks are still off their highs and they're both involved in the same sector? So I'm saying AMD is showing a lot of relative weakness compared to SMCI in the video.
Could it rally to 200 first and then break?
I don't think so, Coach.
Okay.
I mean, there's the weekly. It broke. I mean, everybody looks on the weekly. I mean, that's the weekly. It's down below a key resistance level.
Okay, we'll see.
PVH, CVS, stocks like this. This was in the fund 2 days ago. I sold it. I can't believe it. CVS was showing tremendous relative strength. Now you turn around there, so you have to be careful. Obviously you have to be careful. Root, the speculative stocks, a little giving it. So maybe a little speculation in Carvana, which we all thought was going to 100. Almost got there. 93, but now it's 83. So now it doesn't look like it can get to 100 anymore. You know what I mean, Coach? So the speculation, it's deflated. It's deflated. You with me?
Yeah, Friday's going to be an important day. See if this
Square
yields.
Look great. You were 1 day away from Square taking in a bull flag right here. Now went from 85 this morning was 77. It's $6 for you. That's not an easy hold. On nothing. So that's why the VIX is there. Well, I mean, we can pull up the VIX here. I mean, that's a hell of a move, in my opinion. I don't know what to do. I mean, once again, I'm in a quandary with. I love the short-term trading because the VIX is getting elevated, but I'm having is obviously Tesla, one of your better calls, if not best call of the year. Fact. I said go over. I was talking to TradeGate to the firm this morning. That everybody was saying how they posted in a TGH letter yesterday about how Tesla delivery has been. I said go watch the last 3 months of videos with Coach. You're saying it here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't touch it. You know what? And this is my type of trade where I would try to get sexy.
150.
But I don't know.
150 was the number. So we could be there pretty soon.
So here they go. Here's my sector, as you know. So here are the 3 IPOs that are hot. So obviously donut. That went down on me, this bastard. Whoa, hold on. Wow. So here are the IPOs that just came out. Here are the golds. Here are a couple of oil. Chevron still taking calls. Now, is the guy hedging on Chevron after a nice run, or is he backing it up? There's the weekly on Chevron. I have to think he's backing it up. even though Chevron might be a little bit short term on the daily. Exxon, I mean, it's not sexy, coach, but you know what? I don't know.
That
I
looks
don't
all
know
right.
what. Yeah, I don't know what. I don't know. All I know
Energy
is
looks okay.
all I know is I had donut. I have a lot of
WTI. I
donut.
think as long as WTI holds the 80 level, it's okay.
So let's
Okay.
look at this, coach. This will tell the whole story. Sometimes I don't even look at the indices when I get back. I like to look at this so I don't form an opinion about the indices of the markets, which I really try not to. This is it. This is right here. Percent gainers intraday. All right, this is it. VVPR normally trades 16,000 a day. It's traded 71 million.
Wow.
All right, so hold on. I'm not gonna this stock petered out a little bit, but just listen to the example. And we saw it early on. VVPR. Here's the chart, if I will. So it doesn't, I don't know if it has any left in it, but it closed at $1.50. It opened at 4, went to 7. Now it's sitting in the proverbial danger zone. Here it is. So, you know, it has a tendency of working here, but it also has a tendency of being a one-day wonder. Obviously, the RSI is stretched to 92. So to me, this is a one-day wonder. Okay.
Well,
But
you always take, partial profits on a candle like that.
100%.
You may want to keep some in case there's follow through, but it's not a winner till you take it.
No, coach, believe me, this paper, as we lived through a couple
Yeah.
of bubbles, it's all paper profit. But we brought up ACB, looking great. There's a winner there. It's a little bit crowded because there are a few longs on the board. Exacts, UVIX. By the way, that's a tremendous UVIX trading 100. Let me say something. I'm mixed. I'm not bearish, but I'll tell you something. I have to be practical, and I am. My ego's aside. UVIX up 100% with 100% volume. That's a big percentage move, and I haven't seen that in a while on UVIX, the triple ETF or double ETF on
Okay.
VIX. That's
the VIX chart looks all right.
It is what it is.
Yep.
I have plenty of time to put on shorts or whatever. If this VIX is going to go, you know how it works. If it's going to work, it's either going to work big or it doesn't work at all. So UVIX, here's the chart on the volume on UVIX. Let's forget about here. Let's look down here. So 3 days full of volume. I don't think it's put 3 days full of good volume in a while. So it's been
And
a
you
little
know what
rough.
else? You look back to November, the low in the RSI down there. November. Yeah, there. So consider what the market has done since November, basically parabolic to the upside, and that has not made a new low. That's the point I was going to make.
Well, this was the safety trade. IWM was breaking out.
That was
Now
a
you're in trouble.
three drive to a top. I tweeted it. It's working.
I mean, now you go to now they're going to go to the Q. Now, like I said yesterday, even when we pull back, where are you going to go? Are you going to try to dip on the Qs? I know the IWM is everybody who's a safety. Now what are you going to do? So the safety thing, you got to wait now. The important thing is don't give away any profits that you made in January and February or even last March and give it back. That's the key. Don't give it back.
Yeah. Don't say to yourself and get sloppy after windfalls. Say, well, I'm trading with house money. No, it's your money until you give it back to the house. So treat that with the same respect you do with your principal.
Anybody could make it. Anybody could make it. My wife goes to the racetrack. She could hit 3 races by picking the color of the horses. That's how much she walks away with.
That's it, Mike.
There's ACB. All right, so let's go to options, guys, because you know what? What we say are opinions. What options do is they put their money where their mouth is because nobody knows better than the options and the insiders.
So do we.
Yeah. Marvell calls, NVIDIA calls, SMCI calls. All right. And I just looked up here before I said this. Here's NVIDIA. I guess they're going to run to some NVIDIA today.
Yeah.
All right. 876 to 890, $30 move on NVIDIA. There's the long term. All right. Maybe it comes up to resistance. Maybe it goes to 900. Still maybe a short, but it still might have $8 on the long side. It's up to you.
Might still have 1,000 in
it. Correct, coach. But it's taking calls, and that's been working. Bottom line is the LUV bearish. I came in short LUV. Fact. one of my better trades too. I'll show you. How could you not be short this?
Oh,
These were the airlines. Delta breaking a year.
yeah.
And by the way, Delta breaking a year line. UAL yesterday was acting very well. So I saw them come in on volume. So my new theory is I only short things below the 50-day. So LUV is in the same group. How could you
Yeah.
not short LUV? I took this off nicely, I think. Actually, I took a lot of it. LUV closed at 29.18. I took up a lot of it here at 28.24. A real man would have kept it and added to it. But LUV, I didn't outsmart myself. Like I said, here's Delta. Maybe a one day. So for those that wanted to short the top, it worked. But then I looked at the other ones, and I know LUV is a dog, and I know Boeing's a dog because Boeing goes with LUV. They do a lot of parts makings and all that type of stuff. It's similar. So LUV was the one. That was simple. Maybe UAL corrected more, but that was the right one, and I'm happy it worked because that was the right play, the right thing to do. Next, what else? AMD. Well, let's see where these close. Roblox. Here's Roblox. You got to short Roblox. They had plenty of chances for it to go up and hold the 200-day. Just like this Roblox does not look good. I don't like the stock. The stock sucks. My nieces and nephews are on this thing. The Roblox a good short. If I would like to see calls coming here, and then would edify me. But as I posted before, they're buying some of the Soxel. They're buying some of the semis. Here you go. Soxel, page of Soxel. And that goes with Marvell. That goes with NVIDIA. That goes with the NVIDIA. That goes with SPY calls, SMCI, LUV, Amazon getting a little heavy up here. All right, so let's look at the Soxel. Those were the calls were working. I had posted before on DGH. All right, the Soxel here made its move, 44, 45. I have no interest unless you want to hold this through some type of number, or you want to try to pick this double gap here at 44, and maybe it goes to, not for me. You know what I mean? It's in the danger zone. There's too much below. There's not enough. There's too much below it. There's not enough. Like it's not sexy for me.
No man's land.
Yeah, there it is. 44 is the gap, blah, blah, blah. And what is it going to do? It's not enough for me. It's not. I have more chance of being wrong and losing more than if I'm right. I'm not going to be right enough in that trade. But they're taking calls, so don't kill the messenger.
Okay.
Here we go, coach.
It could hold.
My feed. There's the DXY. VIX is up 10%. SA taking calls. Gold dropped from the highs. Volume down 5% on the monthly average. NASDAQ down 5% on the monthly average. Cannabis names making high. I wasn't even watching this. Not Mike V on the back hour, but it's my job to bring you attention. And there it is. ACB TJY. So, and that was what, 11:06? That was 20 minutes ago. It's 11:26. So once again, it's my job to bring you the attention. It's not Pat B. Mike on the back hour. I'm not in them, but I'm bringing the reason why Coach and I are here as if a waiter comes over to you and says, can I take your order? The right thing for you to do is, can I see the specials? These are the specials. These are what hot, and these are where we're going to bring it. It's very difficult to buy something or do something without rhyme or reason, because then you're just leaving things to chance, and then I don't want to pontificate. Maybe this is a time to pontificate with a lot of fundamentals. Don't let your losses, but there's always something to do. It's our job to bring it to you. So I'll move on from there. Do you have anything else to say, Coach? I was actually going to listen more than I was going to talk today because I was looking
That's okay.
for some guidance for you, because this is where you really
Put up the daily gold chart. Let's see where it's at before we go off the air. Okay, getting a reversal day. See how it finishes. I'm figuring back to the GLD is a little different than the gold, and this is AEM. Yeah, I mean that's confirming.
Here you go, Coach. This is I should say this.
AEM.
But by the way, even if it doesn't turn out to be true or come to fruition, these are what people look at. Okay, mark it down. Mike V, 1128. I write them down. Jesus feed. I have a cross here. It says Jesus. Can you see well, you trust me. The freaking notebook. And I say SPY April monthly 27 seeing buying. So the 27 calls have buying. So somebody's buying calls.
what is that? Our pictures are in front of it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. That is the SPY April monthly 27 calls. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you showed me enough stuff. I still think it could go either way, but I could see the upside. There's a 1.618 in S&P SPX that comes in at 40. What is it? 53.50. Yeah. So I think we're still like 100 handles away or so. That could happen into next week, but
Yeah,
we'll
noted.
see.
Now,
Yeah.
let me ask you something, if I may. It's important, seriously. Go in your opinion. FCX, guys, opening bet, bearish action July 43 puts.
Let's see it again.
I knew that was coming. All right. So is this guy hedging? Or is this guy saying enough is enough?
There's a little divergence. Yeah, it's not at the new all-time high, and look at all those bands come in around his um, strike.
No, I
So
think he's trying to get sexy. I
yeah,
get it. But
maybe he'll pull back to his strike. I don't see a collapse coming.
no,
Maybe 36 to 48.12. I'd be a buyer at 43 to 42.
you know
I
what,
don't think
coach?
I'd launch right here.
I'm going to tell you where the price is. I've been remember, I know the stops right here. 41.
Okay, the gap. Okay,
41.
that was
I've
where
been watched,
it's a
coach,
breakaway gap.
this volume right here. And I was
Yeah,
long a lot of it. I
yeah.
remember that price like I remember my birthday. 41 is the price. Trust me. Alexis knows that because we talked about it for hours, literally hours. All right. So I
Well, I
have
think
it.
also I may have contributed to that too when you asked me what about copper.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I asked you,
Yeah,
coach. I said, should I hang on?
yeah. So that's when the dollar was selling off. So anyway, if the dollar has more left and rates, I think there'll be a pullback here, but I'm not long-term bearish on that. I still think it's right to be long-term bullish. But nothing goes in a straight line. They trade in waves, as Alexis knows, being a
Surfside.
surfer now. So
I get it.
the great surfers do not try and catch every wave. They too are patient for the best setups.
All right. I mean, that's, what makes you good is what makes you bad. I was literally one of the best day traders in the country at one point, going back in the 90s. And it's taken me decades to unwind that mentality of what makes you good is what makes you mad. My entries are great, but like you helped me with expanding.
I think everyone should go back and listen to that Jack Schwager interview because I pulled the strongest quotes out of some of the wizards, and there's some really, really good pearls of wisdom in there. So that's about it for me, bro.
Okay.
Don't just count your pips, count your blessings. See you guys in the room. I think I explained the Canadian scenario to Bob McDougall yesterday. Still think there's some upside left, even if we're down a little bit here in Canada. 37.38 would be a level. Steve Burns, yeah. The first thing you have to learn. He quotes me on this. As a trader, you have to learn
He
how to
quotes
serve.
you.
Yeah, how to survive. That's the first thing you have to learn.
How to survive?
Yeah,
No, you know what? I mean, I wish my consistency was a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie.
but
Uh,
if you don't learn how to survive, you're just
no,
you're broke.
I don't want to knock on wood. I'm not even superstitious, but I have a better. I mean, I handle. I wish I handled my winners as well as I handle my losers. How about put it that way?
Yeah. But I mean, for new traders, that's the first thing you have to do. And the best way to learn how to survive is really reduce your leverage. Even if you could afford to trade bigs and minis look like they might be a little boring for you, trade micros for 6 months and just get a feel for um, even if you have a few bucks on the line, there's still some emotion with the money there.
You used to
So
trade micro lots
yeah,
or trade futures?
micros,
Well, you know this.
just
If you want to
very
trade,
low.
if you know what, if you want to trade, if you want to have $2 million in micro lots in your account, you start with 4 million.
You what?
But
So
if you want to have $1 million in your
oh yeah,
account
yeah,
of those futures,
yeah,
start with 2 million. That's how
yeah.
you're going to get a million.
Okay, yeah,
That's what I
less
learned
leverage.
a long time ago. But here we go. I'll leave it off.
I know a
It is
lot of
what it is.
guys just trade, even in currencies, unleveraged.
QQQs
And
and
there's some
video.
very good traders. All right, well, let's see what happens into the eclipse, man. And things are heating up in the Middle East with them hitting an embassy in Syria. Wonder what Iran's going to do. But, look, the market's been whistling past this graveyard for a while. I hope it continues to.
Well, listen, the Bears want to stock. The Bears want stocks to pull back more. The
What
Bulls.
bears?
There are plenty of Bears out there,
They're
Coach.
dead.
I'm mixed. I got some shorts
They're
on.
dead. They're dead. They're looking for picnic baskets at Yosemite. Anyway, we'll see. Not as many bears as there used to be, that's for sure.
No, and that's
Do,
good. That's
do
bearish.
yeah, do the right thing today, and tomorrow takes care of itself. So, um, see everyone tomorrow. Okay.
Do yourself a favor and go watch all our videos on YouTube. Today was a sprint. We're about a marathon and making money. Coach and I, support. This isn't. We're not. One-hit wonders. We support families. I freaking trade and I have to pay flood insurance. You know what I mean? What I mean?
Yeah.
We have to pay. We take money out of the market, and the key is for you to have longevity as well. And the longer you trade, the better we do, and the better everybody else is. Believe me, I'm not here to waste my breath for you to go on a 1 week vacation and disappear. That doesn't satisfy me, and it's not going to do no good for you. So stay in the room. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Get on the YouTube channel. Get the little bit know where we're about. Thank you for tuning in, TGH. Coach always gives the plan, trades it. Maybe trade a little bit more specifically. Thanks for tuning in.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Coach, for leading and
All
making
right.
me better.
Oh, bro, thank you very much. We learn from each other. Iron sharpens iron.